For my final reflection, I thought I'd do a quick webinar of some of the key takeaways from the Board of Pharmacy presentation by Andrew Funk and Jennifer O'Toole. One of the first things they talked about in their presentation was controlled substance prescriptions, and some of the things that you can and cannot change on a controlled substance script. One of the other important aspects to note is educating the patient to be proactive when it comes to filling a controlled substance, because you want to make sure you minimize any interruption in therapy, if so, when it comes to that, and making sure that the patient understands where you are coming from and why you cannot refill their controlled substance. And lastly, one of the things that Andrew and Jennifer emphasized was that providers can write controlled substance prescriptions for immediate family members, but it's important to note that they cannot write controlled substance for themselves. The next topic that they talked about was protected health information. It's really important to use caution with the conversations you have with patients or representatives of patients as far as the use of the drug. Sometimes you don't want to disclose a certain health condition that the patient might have to the representative, and so keeping that confidential is really, really important. And in general, a good practice is just to call the patient if they have a representative, pick up a prescription for them, but also just overall, if you have patients, and ensuring that you follow up with them to see if they understood what the drug is being used for. Another closely related topic when it comes to protected health information is language barriers. And so some of the things you can use are interpreters, if you have those available at your hospitals. Sometimes and many times, those are certified, available resources that you can use to help patients understand what they are taking or what types of therapy they're being prescribed. And so using that if that's readily available, but also if you're just at a local community pharmacy and you don't have these readily available, Google Translate is just also another thing that Dr. Ulrich mentioned as well. When it comes to a pharmacist's authority to change a prescription, I think that corresponding responsibility really hit the point here as far as making sure that you as a pharmacist have a vital role in preventing any drug misuse and abuse, and looking at the scenario overall and what potential consequences can occur if you do change the prescription without the provider knowing. And so I think when it comes to a scope of practice issue sometimes, and as far as what the provider is willing to change and work with the pharmacist, or if they're more stingent and not take a pharmacist suggestion. So something that I found was also interesting to further explore on my own free time is how therapeutic substitution for pharmacists came to be in Idaho, and their ability to do this and how that impacted their practice. Lastly, something that I think as a postgraduate I will utilize is the DEA manual. I think that this is a great resource to assist pharmacists in understanding the FDCA and implementing its regulations in your own pharmacy that you work at. That concludes the presentation for today. So thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to recording possibly more video logs in the future.